be an annual series, our second global showcase for SIP. So SIP 2024 Global Showcase. Thank you. So we're doing it for the second time this year. Last year, this was an experiment. We did this for the first time last year. 2023 was the first time in a long time that we had, or the first time ever, where we had a large group of international and out-of-state interns on campus, on the UCSC campus as part of SIP. Last summer was the first time that happened. There were two reasons for that. 3 years prior to that, 2020, 21, and 22, SIP was entirely online. So while we had a very large number of international and out-of-state interns, those 3 years, everyone was online. And it didn't quite have the same feel as coming together for an in-person event like this. So last year we were hybrid. This year we're almost entirely in person. And again, the goal of this showcase is to celebrate the diversity of the interns in the SIP 2024 program. There are many other axes of diversity in the SIP program. There's our mentor pool is very diverse, or our faculty and staff. But this particular event is to celebrate the diversity of the high school interns in SIP 2024. With that, I'm going to introduce the first of the countries on the list, and that's Bangladesh.
You could tap it right there and speak loud, okay? And maybe look at the camera. Your notes are here. How do you change the slides?
Good morning, everyone. My name is Fayaz Aman.
And I am Ethan Joel.
Today we'll be representing Bangladesh. This is the map of Bangladesh. The country is divided into 8 different divisions, the 2 main ones being our capital city, Dhaka, where we both come from, as well as our port city, Chittagong. These are some famous places. In Dhaka, we have Hatir Jheel, which is a bridge overlooking a giant lake, as well as Ahsan Manzil, which is a pink palace, as well as the Jatiya Smriti Saudha, which is a structure which commemorates our independence. Going down, we have the Cox's Bazar in Chittagong, which is the longest natural sea beach in the world, as well as the Sundarbans in Khulna, which is the largest mangrove forest in the world. But these are some of the most popular foods from Bangladesh. Panta bhat is a rice dish, generally enjoyed with fish curry. Pitha is a plethora of sweet dishes enjoyed during winter. Kachi biryani and fuchka is a crowd favorite enjoyed by people of all ages.
Festivals in Bangladesh are a riot of color, music, and joy. We have Poila Boishakh, the Bengali New Year. We celebrate this day with colorful processions and joyous music. We have Bosant Utsav, the day when the spring begins. We celebrate this day as well. In February, we have the Ekushe Book Fair. This day commemorates the martyrs of 1952 language movement. This is the haven for the book lovers. We have a local youth festival like Naban Utsav. It's like a harvest festival. People from the villages come together to celebrate this new rice festival. Bangladesh culture is a mix of different types of traditions, arts, and flavors. We have Bangladeshi handicrafts. Bangladeshi handicrafts are renowned all over the world for their beauty and creativity. There is an art called Alpona. Alpona is a symbol of our heritage and culture. It's an integral part of our day-to-day life celebrations and festivals. Lastly, we have like baul music. Baul music reflects the essence of our existence and the quest for our inner truth. So come and explore Bangladesh and
Next, we have Laura representing Brazil. And I'm making the cardinal mistake of not standing in front of the laptop, so I'm gonna repeat that. Laura from Brazil.
Here's the camera.
Oh, yeah. Is the volume working?
Yeah.
How can I turn it on?
Where's the audio? Yeah.
No, I
Oh.
have like, where is it? Yeah, no, something. Is it possible to like?
Today we'll be talking about Brazil. I'm not from Brazil. I've never been. I would like to go to Brazil. How many students have we had from Brazil before instead, Raja? One? What year? Last year. Very good. Raja thinks so. Ready?
So, okay. So here's where Brazil is located. As you can see, we're a country in the South America. And as you can see in the like the image here, we're really big. So we are like almost as big as the US, which is really, I don't know, like surprising, just a fun fact. Our capital is Brasilia, which I don't think many of people know that. So Brasilia is located in the center. Important fact, we don't speak Spanish. Please, we don't speak Spanish. I don't know how to speak Spanish. It's really hard. So we don't speak Spanish. Thank you, Portugal, for that. And here's a little bit of our alphabet, which the image is terrible, but anyways. And here are some words that you can speak in Portuguese. So, olá, tudo bem, e bom dia. Bom dia is good morning, olá is hi, and tudo bem is like, how are you? You can see a really famous painting that we have about like the independence of Brazil. And you can see the like Dom Pedro first here in the like the upper part of the image. And he's like fancy with noble attires and on a like horse and all those fancy things. But that's not how it actually happened, which is pretty interesting because in fact, like Dom Pedro left the old capital of Brazil to do some work there. And well, he was not on a horse. He was riding a mule and he was dressed like a drover, which is like not fancy at all. And he was fighting against terrible intestinal disorder. So he stopped on that river to do his things. And he received a message saying that like the Portuguese people were coming back to end up that like independence movement, and he just screamed like independence for them, and that was it. It's not so fancy. So here you can see a little of beautiful places that we have in Brazil. Those are the most famous and most visited. And on the bottom here, you can see Pipa, which is a photo I took, by the way. It is like my favorite place in Brazil that I've visited, at least. Now, here's a little bit about my city itself. We have like those beautiful places. I love it. They're like my favorite ones. And we're really known for our coffee. our like cheese bread and doce de leche, which you probably tried eventually on like Starbucks or something, and ours is the best. So, yeah. A little bit like really quickly about festivities. We have Festa Junina, which is like we just dress really on a I don't know how to explain, but on this like dresses and it's a really cute party. I love it. And we wear usually skirts and like in the interior core or something like interior aesthetic, country aesthetic. And here's Carnival that probably most of you have heard of. Our Carnival is the best and biggest one in like the world, so it's really famous. This year, we had like 1 million people in Brazil in Brazil, no, in my city actually, just to visit the Carnival. So this is like a picture of the main avenue in my city in like a traditional day of fancy too. And here are some foods. We are used to eat rice and beans every day, which is not like the rice and beans you eat here. It's really different. So you should try if you have the opportunity. And that's it. We are also known for our for our music. So I actually did a playlist, but it's not showing. I don't know.
Thank you, Evan. Just a reminder again, please stick to your time. Really important that you do that. Please say your first and last name. I'm here to introduce Vanessa Liu, who's going to talk about Canada.
Hi, I'm Vanessa and I'm from Chemistry OA, and I'll be giving a short introduction to Canada. So first are some fun facts or quick facts. We have a population of nearly 40 million and 2 official languages, English and French. And you've probably heard of the 3 biggest cities, Toronto, Montreal, and Vancouver, but none of those are the capital. It's actually Ottawa, which is like a 3-hour drive away from Toronto. I'm sure you've all heard the CN Tower, but some other places I recommend you visit is the Royal Ontario Museum, which architecture professors bring their students there because it's kind of like a bad design and it's a waste of space, but it's also the biggest museum in Canada. Then there's the Bouchard Gardens in Vancouver, which is known for its variety of flowers. And below that, there is the Notre Dame Basilica in Montreal, which is the first Gothic Revival church in Canada. And then there's also the Banff National Park, which is renowned globally and really hard to book if you want to go skiing or camping. And it's known for its rocky mountains and rivers. Then there's Niagara Falls, which apparently has a better view in Canada, but I'm not sure. And then there's also St. Lawrence, or there's also Kensington Market, which is known for its vintage stores and trendy restaurants and cafes. And food is an important part of a country's identity, and we don't really have anything other than poutine, maple syrup, and like weird chip flavors like ketchup and all dress, which I was really surprised they didn't have here. You guys should try, it's really good. And we're also known for Tim Hortons and Timbits, which is just miniature donuts. It's nothing too fancy. But other than that, we're also known for authentic food from all over the world due to the diversity and immigration that people bring. And other than diversity, we're also Canada is that apparently no one else drinks milk from bags, but that's how you buy it and that's how you use it. So you like cut a little hole and then you pour the milk. And we're also known for apologizing a lot, which is actually kind of true, and for pronouncing sorry as sorry, which I also am guilty of saying. But yeah, so with all those quirks, I hope you guys will be able to visit one day. Thank you.
Talking about. Thank you so much, Vanessa. Next is Chile, represented by Manuela Borba.
Hola, my name is Manuela. I am from Chile. Chile is divided into 15 different regions. It shares borders with Argentina, Bolivia, and Peru. The capital of Chile is Santiago. This is Santiago. Santiago is located in a valley between the Andes Mountains. In Santiago, you can find this building, which is called Costanera Center, which is the tallest building in South America. You can also find the Palacio de la Moneda, which is like the White House here, which is where the president lives. And throughout Santiago, you can see this river, which is called the Rio Mapocho, flowing through it. And Santiago is divided into many different regions, communities. So here are some things to do in Santiago. I think that the best thing to do there is to enjoy the hiking trips, since we are located in a valley and we have many hiking trails. And my favorite one is to go to the Santa Lucia Hill, which is shown at the bottom there, which is traditions we have. In the 18th of September of 1810, Chile gained independence from Spain. So September 18th, 19th, 20th, 21, and 22 are national holidays in Chile. And during these days, you can find what we call fondas, which are big events where we embrace our culture. You can encounter traditional food like sopaipillas, which are have traditional dances, and our traditional dance is called hueca. So Chile is the longest country in the world, and at the top you start with the Atacama Desert, which is the driest desert in the world, and at the bottom you end with the Chilean Antarctica. So with with different environments from different cultures. So at the north, you can see that it's a very dry area. North has been occupied by many different people, but the main ones have been the Atacameños, the Changos, and the Aymaras. Also, there's a lot of different animals in this region, like guanacos, llamas, and chinchillas. And also, a fun fact is that in the north, you can find the Alma Observatory, which is the biggest, one of the biggest observatories in the world. So then the south. The south is much different from the north, as you can see. There are many more green areas.
So activity issues. But next we have group of 10 students representing 10. Do we have all 10 here now? We have a large group of students representing China. Kate Anderson, Guangwen Lin, Jingzhu Xie, Wenchen Yu, Zihan Chen, Sophia Z, Jason Zhao, James Zhao, Shige Hao, Bowen Xiao. I've said your last names. You should do the same.
You can start. You all need a mic or? Okay. Go.
Okay, so hi everyone, I'm Frank Shi, more known as the Violent Guy. So today we're presenting China, and as you all know, the former president's speech of China, everybody knows about China. So we're gonna talk about something more specific, like the languages. So this is what happens when you,
This is what happens when the presentation fails.
yeah. Okay, so this is what happens when you try to learn Chinese. Okay, level 1, 诗. Pretty easy. Level 2, 诗. Yeah, a little bit complicated. And level 3, Right, hopefully that introduction wasn't that hard. But I mean, it's the very tip of the iceberg when it comes to Mandarin. So after that very short introduction, we're now going to go into the tones and homophones of our language Mandarin. So hopefully after that short lesson from Frank, y'all can probably pronounce this. How do you say this? E, right? Guess how many meanings or how many characters these two sounds can represent. Take a guess, anyone? All right, that's a bit of an exaggeration, but you know, we've got quite some characters that can be represented with E. You got objection, the meaning, and translation by literal meaning, which are all pronounced E, but have different respective characters to them. And with these repeating syllables, we have a lot of amazing stories that we can tell with the Chinese language, and particularly in Mandarin.
Okay, let me give an example. So the first part is easy. 昨天在下雨. Yesterday it was raining. 我差点摔倒了. I almost fell down. 还好我. Fortunately I. However, the latter part is a bit hard. 一把把爸把住了. I mean, this is easier than the 是 thing. And 一把 quickly. 把 is an active auxiliary word. We put it between the verb and the noun. And 爸把住了. Ba is the 把住了 is held. Ba handle. However, we like switch the place in Chinese. You might notice that when I read 一把 individually, it's the third tone. However, I put it in the sentence, it's 一把把. Why? This is because we have a rule. When you put two third tones side by side, you need to read the first one as the second tone.
All right, so there is another interesting example is a little change in sounds can make a big differences in its meaning. And there are two simple phrases. The first one is 小心地滑, and the second one is 小心地滑. We look that they are very similar. They are identical, but they have different meanings. The first one is pay attention to the slippery floor, and the second has a meaning of cautiously slide on the ground. Yeah. So it's another fun fact. In the last example, you might notice that there is a fifth tone in Chinese because there is like 4 tones in the previous pages, and it depends on the characters and the meaning of the sentences. So we call this the natural tone.
Okay. And there are some even more funny things, like when sometimes when the characters and the tones are exactly the same, they still have very different meanings, even opposite meanings. For example, in the summer, like we wear as little as possible because it is hot, and in winter we wear as many as possible because it's cold. But in Mandarin, we say these two in the same way, 能穿多少是多少. That is because 多少 means 多 means much, 少 means less, but 多少 means like how much, and 多少 can also means how less. So that is very interesting stuff, and let's go to some fun facts.
So first of all, we have more than 80,000 characters. That's a lot. And so our character is really complicated. This is the most complex one we can find. It has 56 strokes. I don't actually know this word, we Google it. And our language today is evolved from the pictographic characters. So yes, this is really interesting. Okay, and we have 129 officially recorded dialects. People in different regions pronounce the words in different ways. And Google said we only have 8 dialects. That's because Google is wrong.
Right, hopefully y'all enjoyed our little nerdy presentation, and it is exactly these tiny nuances that makes the language so interesting and beautiful. Oh, thank you for listening.
Really? Slides might not be. Slides might not.
Thank you thank you for the wonderful presentation, the group from China. Thank you. All right, next we have Victoria Reyes Holguin, representing Colombia.
Hello, I'm from Colombia, and I would like to start out by introducing you to one of our really famous drinks. My family favorite and my favorite, it's a lulada. Okay, it's made of like a juice of a fruit called lulo. It's amazing. If you guys go, please try it out. Okay, first of all, Colombia, it's a South American country. It has borders with Venezuela, Panama, Ecuador, Peru, Brazil, as you can see here. And one of the 5 most famous cities, as you know, it's the Bogota, the capital, Cali, that's where I'm from. Then we have Medellin, Cartagena, and Barranquilla, where Shakira's from. Okay, one of our like most famous and well cultural landmarks are, okay, first of all, we have the Nevado del Ruiz. It's a volcano. It's astonishingly beautiful. Second of all, we have the river of 5 colors, which is called Caño Cristales. My uncle and aunt went up there and they said it's absolutely extraordinary. So please go if you ever plan to visit Colombia. And then we have the Salt Cathedral of Zipaquirá. It's basically a cathedral that is built at 200 meters underground in the salt mines. You've never seen something like this, and please go. Then we have the Tayrona National Park. It's basically like a beach paradise, as you can see right there. Then we have the Eje Cafetero. It's one of my dad's favorite places to go, and where we collect almost all the coffee in the region. That's what we're famous for. And finally, we have the streets of Cartagena, which I went with my friends back then and on my 15th birthday, and it was one of the best experiences of my life. In both like a day and night, it's absolutely beautiful. Now we have the food. Okay, I know what you're thinking, this doesn't look appetizing, but trust me, when you try it, it's amazing. First of all, we have the soup, which is called ajiaco. It's basically like a chicken soup without the corn, it's better, but in this case, it has the corn, but wow, amazing. Then we have the pan de bono and pan de yuca, which are basically like breads made of cassava and cheese. It's kind of like the pão de queijo from Brazil, but it's amazing. You have to try it out. And if you pair it with hot chocolate and cheese, okay, I know what you're thinking. This sounds disgusting, but trust me, wait until you try it. Hot chocolate and cheese makes an amazing combination. And then we have the bocadillo, which is basically like guava paste. It's amazing. And aborrajado, which is my favorite thing to eat. And of course, obleas. If you haven't seen them, it's like a wafer cookie with some arequipe, sorry, which is basically like dulce de leche. Okay, now for our traditions. Let's start off with from where I'm from. It's the Salsódromo, the Feria de Cali, which is all about salsa music and, well, dancing salsa as well as cumbia, which are two types of main musics in Colombia. It's one of our favorite celebrations because we celebrate, well, our culture and our beautiful music. Well, that was produced, well, in Cali. And another tradition that we have is the football games. It's Cali versus America. Personally, I'm Cali. If you're America, please leave. We don't like you. Then we have the flower fair in Medellin. Medellin is also known as the city of eternal spring, and that's why they do the fair of the flowers in Medellin. Basically, many people grab their cestillos, which is like almost a backpack where they carry all of their flowers and present them in like the form of a fair. It's beautiful. Then we have the Dia de las Velitas. And basically, all of the boys, girls, women, men get a little tabla of wood and light up candles for Virgin Mary on the 7th of December. It's truly beautiful. And of course, we have Holy Week at Popayan. It's a tradition in my family. We go to Popayan and many people volunteer out holding the statues which are showing the Passion of Christ, which is, well, the days he suffered until his death. And finally, we have the Vuelta a la Cuadra. It's a tradition on the 31st of December. We always grab an empty suitcase and run 12 times around either a block or a pool for the 12 voyages we're gonna take for the next year. And finally, we have our music. As I just mentioned, salsa, it's the biggest, the most famous in our country. We love to dance it. I personally love it. My brother introduced me to it, and since then, I've always been passionate about it, as well as cumbia, which is, as you can see here, danced with very long, big dresses, and with the hat, the sombrero volteado, which is famous in Colombia. And we can see our Selección Colombia, the team of football, dancing salsa choque. It's basically more, it's salsa, but it's more with the beats. So as you can see here, if you look it up like on YouTube, you'll see the difference, but it's really fun. And of course, we have our very famous musicians that arose from Colombia, like Juanes. I don't think you know him, but it's really good. Then Karol G, Sebastián Yatra, Maluma, Camilo, Shakira, Gracie, Carlos Vives, J Balvin, and of course Faith. And finally, we have the musical Vallenato. It's really popular in the outsides, like the suburban areas, and it's basically touched with an instrumento called the accordion. I personally don't like it, but it's really famous around the areas. And thank you. That's it.
Thanks, Victoria, for that presentation about Colombia. Next, we have a presentation about Côte d'Ivoire. And the presentation is going to be made by Eliora Idron and Noura Bakari.
Akwaba, and welcome to Côte d'Ivoire. My name is Noura Bakari, and my name is Eliora Idron. So Côte d'Ivoire is located in West Africa, bordering Ghana, Liberia, Mali, and Burkina. We have two seasons, the rainy season and the sunny season.
So we have two capitals, Abidjan and Yamoussoukro. So Abidjan is the economical capital and Yamoussoukro is the political capital. And we have in Yamoussoukro the Basilica, was like the tallest one in the world.
So here we have some famous people from Ivory Coast. First of all, we have Olivia Yesse. She was the second runner-up for Miss World 2022. Then we have DJ Drogba, who is considered one of the greatest footballers from Ivory Coast. He was an ex-Chelsea player. Then we have Caius Bloom. I'm not sure if you know him, but I recommend his music. It's really good. And then Magic System.
So for the food, we are like many different food and snack at the same time. So we have aloko, who is like fried plantain, bofloto, who is like, oh yeah, I don't know how to explain it. And we have a sandwich called pain brochette, so it's like bread with meat. After we have attiqué, who is like one of the traditional food in our country. After we have sauce graine and sauce arachide. So sauce arachide is literally mean peanut sauce, and we have okra sauce and Cerelac. So the Cerelac is like a baby food, but everyone in Ivory Coast eating it.
And now we have the AFCON. How many of you have heard about the AFCON? Okay, not many people. So it's basically the African Cup of Nations. It's like the youth but in Africa. And this year we hosted it, and we won. Not to brag or anything, but we have the best football team in Africa.
After the ethnic and the culture, so we have 4 groups: the Gru, the Mande, the Akans, and the Krus. And on those like many groups, we have more than 60 ethnicity and languages. So that's why our official language is French, because we can learn them all. So thank you for listening.
Thanks, Eliora and Dora. Next, we have Sophie Malinu. She's going to talk about the Czech Republic, now known as Czechia, right? Now known as Czechia, informally at least. Is this if you want? Oh, this one. Okay, perfect.
Okay, so hi everyone. My name is Sophie Malinu. I'm 16 years old, and and I'm attending high school in my birthtown Mihlava, which is called Gymnasium Mihlava. And for the beginning, I would like to say that this type of school is kind of prestigious within the Czech educational system. So, Czech Republic is located in the center of Europe. Its neighbors are Germany, Poland, Slovakia, and Austria. Population of Czech Republic is 10.5 million, which is, I think it's enough. Capital of Czech Republic is Prague, but we call it in Czech Praha. And it's significant with its beautiful historical buildings, and yeah, it's really nice. And in the first picture, we can see a Prague castle. Then next to it is Bridge of Charles, and down there we can see the significant town square, which is called in Czech Staroměstské náměstí. The organization I would like to talk about is called UNESCO, which is United Nations Educational and Scientific Cultural Organization connected with UNESCO sites in Czech Republic. And we can divide these sites into tangible. We have 17 of those, and intangible, we have 7 of those. And I will show you 2 of the tangible ones. Okay, so first we have town Telč, which is famous with its beautiful town square framed with historical buildings, and the town has also a castle, but I didn't include that into my presentation, sorry about that. And you can see up there, this is my best friend Simcha, and we went there for a trip, and I really enjoyed that. Another town is Český Krumlov, and it's significant with its water meander and again, really historical architecture. My favorite Czech meals are goulash and vepřokné zelo. Goulash is basically the sauce, and it's made from potatoes, and it is served with pork meat and dumplings. And vepřokné zelo, it's again from pork meat. It's served with cabbage and potato dumplings, or there can be also bread ones. My top one dessert, Czech dessert, is větrník, and it is a Czech dessert filled with caramel cream, and it has a caramel top, and it's chef's kiss, really. And then we have Vočnovské dolečky, which is typical for one of the little towns in Czech Republic called Vočnov, and it is a Czech pastry filled with sweet cream and raisins. We have 4 national parks, but my favorite one is Šumava. I've been there already for 7 times, and every time I'm there, I enjoy that because the nature, as you can see, is really spectacular. We have really nice landscapes, and it's really peaceful there. And Czech people are really passionate about eating mushrooms, but the more fun activity is mushroom picking. Whenever I'm in forest, we pick up mushrooms, and it's really fun, but it's kind of triggering sometimes because most of the time I see my siblings with a basket full of mushrooms, and as I'm told, I can't really see them blind yet, so good. Okay, thank you very much, and
Thank you, Sophie, for that presentation about the Czech Republic. Next, we have Aslam Abdel Fattah, who's going to talk about the country of Egypt.
Yeah. So, good morning, everybody. This is Aslam Abdel Fattah. I'm a rising senior in STEM High School for Boys at 6th of October in Giza, of course, where the pyramids are. And for those who wonder, this is my name in hieroglyphs. Just stay tuned to write yours in the next few slides. And today I'll give a quick presentation about Egypt, covering these topics. And we will start with geography. And a quick fun fact, out of the more than 20 cities over there in Egypt, I have friends from 14. So that's thanks to the diversity of my school. And for those who wonder where is Egypt, is in North Africa, because most of the people don't know where it is. And I won't go over the colors of the flag because I don't know what they indicate. So, and when we talk about history, Egypt has a lot to talk about, but we'll go over a really few things. First of all, hieroglyphs, it's a really ancient language, and this chart illustrates like every letter in English and its correspondence in hieroglyphs. Yeah, it's really fun, but it's not used anymore. And mummification, it's a really ancient process where ancient Egyptians used it like to preserve dead bodies because they believed in afterlife and they will wake up again after death, but this is not believed anymore in Egypt. And those are like the most prominent rulers in ancient Egypt: Cleopatra, Hatshepsut, those are ancient queens, and Tutankhamun, he's famous for his tomb and gold. And if you want to write your name here, please scan this QR code. It's really fun. And take your name and in hieroglyphs. And for those who missed it, okay. Okay. For the food, those are like the most Egyptian food, and I love kosher. It's really my favorite. It's really good for vegetarians, so you should try it. And falafel is called tameya in Egyptian dialect, rolls of lemon, rice pudding. Fata and nasi jute is called molokhaya. Those are really, really delicious ones. I recommend you all to visit Egypt one day and try them. And when we talk about Egyptian figures, everybody thinks about Mo Salah, of course, the real Egyptian king. And if you use TikTok so much, you may come across Mohab, Marwan Musa, Legacy, those are really popular rappers. And if you want me to share my Spotify playlist, don't hesitate to DM me. And for Kalthum and Abdul Halim Hafiz, those are really popular between all people, and for me as well, I don't know. And this is a glimpse into Egyptian music. Uh,
years. Then we have junior high, senior high, and university. So in Ghana, we have the Ghanaian education system, the British system. Like in Ghana, we do A levels, IGs, O levels. We also do IB in Ghana. That
Okay, so I made a video, like a compilation of videos I took in Ghana about the lifestyle, the food, and how to live your life. And so I'm going to play it real quick.
They say they must have been. Man stand tall, man. Love to play the villain. I like to make a killing in the disco. DJ play my rhythm. Man have a dance right before we rig him.
When everybody they ask me where hustle I did. Is it still local or you travel away? Don't violate, I draw this class in your face. Don't make me teach you, no be class when I did. Cause toxic acid children, don't know any other way. Toxic acid children.
Medasa. Hello.
Mom is Hannah Leona Reyes.
Okay, good morning, everyone. My name is Hannah Leon Reyes, and today I'll be presenting the island of Guam. Oh, okay, yes. All right, so half a day means it's a common greeting in the Chamorro language. So you guys want to try saying it? It's pretty easy. It's half a day.
Half a day.
Yes, okay, good. Okay, so Guam is actually a US island territory in the Western Pacific. It's distinguished by the tropical beaches, the Chamorro villages, and the ancient limestone pillars. And the current population in our island is just 174,000, just about that. And so this is called the Chamorro Village in Guam. So this village is only open every Wednesday night from 5:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. And in this, there's a range of pavilions where locals, like the natives and the Chamorro people, as well as some tourists, they go in there, they sell food, buy food, jewelry, cultural clothing, and there's a bunch of performances, so it's pretty fun. So these are some of the Chamorro food in Guam. So there's chicken kalagwin, finadeni, Chamorro barbecue ribs, Chamorro red rice, coconut candy, and latitza. So Chamorro red rice is Chamorro rice that's red. And finadeni is soy sauce with basically chopped onions. And then latitza is a sponge cake with vanilla custard and cinnamon on top. So here are some of the restaurants in Guam. So Jamaican Grill, Promo Guam, Tossie Grill, Monopica, and Jeff's Pirates Cove. Jeff's Pirates Cove is a pretty popular restaurant in Guam because when you go drive around the island, which you can explore practically half of the island in one day. This is the only restaurant you'll see down south along the coast. And since tourism is actually Guam's main source of economy, here are some tourist spots in Guam. So there's Pagat Cave Trailhead, Telephone Falls, Two Lovers Point. Pagat Cave Trailhead is a little bit of a hike, but it's not that much of a hike. It's just 1.7 miles, I believe. And Two Lovers Point is pretty popular because it is associated with a Chamorro legend, where during the Spanish colonial time, there were these two lovers and the father of the woman didn't approve. So they decided to tie up their hair together and then jump off a cliff. This cliff over there, yeah. So Mes Chamorro in Guam, so Mes Chamorro means it's Chamorro month. And this is basically a month-long festivals and activities. So in Chamorro Village, you'll see a lot of cultural dances. One of the cultural dances is Balan Lina La, which is Dance of Life. There's a lot of carabaos that will be out, and this month is, or this thing is usually celebrated in the month of March. And then here are some things to do in Guam. So right over there is the parkland. That's basically a place where you can go to if you'd like to watch sunrise and sunset and just pick up like little seashells. I know last year when Guam was struck by a typhoon, it was like a popular place to go to if you just needed time to like wind down. And the closest thing that our island has to city life or nightlife is Tumon, which is where you find the hotels, popular restaurants, and it's pretty bright at night. And then we only have one amusement park with 3 rides, which is Tagada. Underwater World is the only aquarium on Guam, and of course there's hiking, there's surfing, swimming. Surfing, some of the popular surfing spots are Telefoco Bay and Rick's Reef. Telefoco Bay is way down south, so if you live right around the center like me, then Rick's Reef is the way to go. And of course, there's food trucks, so there's only 19 villages in Guam, and these food trucks, they stop by Sutun Village every day of the week, and the popular ones are Wednesdays at Dadido and on Thursdays at Aganya. And then, of course, you can volunteer and again, that's Guam Animals in Need. And yeah, so Guam only has 2 colleges, which is University of Guam and Guam Community College. It does have an acceptance rate of 100%. So go ahead and apply. If you don't get in, yeah, if you don't get in, then you must be pretty special. Okay, that's it. Thank you.
She's got a camera.
Thank you, Hannah. Next we have Victoria Palacios.
Yo te quiero y te canto bien mío, tus ojitos me roban la calma, te llevo clavada en el alma, puramente como una ilusión. Sos un ángel, sos una estrella, sos un ángel, sos una rosa, te pido la mano pasmosa, aunque sea en el último adiós. A la capotín, tin, 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 que esta noche va a llover.
Muchas gracias, Victoria. All right, next we have representing Hong Kong, Ryan Pang and Grace Shu.
Bro, they let you change our slide.
We're good.
Okay, whatever. Oh, okay. Hi, guys, I'm Grace, and
I'm Ryan.
we're here to represent Hong Kong, yay. And the full name is actually Hong Kong Special Administration Region of China. But because of weird political reasons, we're not gonna discuss it, yay. Okay, okay.
Yeah, so I'm gonna start talking about Hong Kong. It's basically a group of islands, but there's 4 main regions. As you see, the green part is called New Territories, the yellow is called Kowloon, the purple part is the Hong Kong Island, and the orange part is Lantau Island. So as you can see, I live in the purple part, which is Hong Kong Island, and Grace lives in New Territories. Yes, so Hong Kong is really famous for its culture, traditions, and different food. And yeah, on the left, you can see that's the famous Victoria Harbor. It runs through the city, and especially at night, it's really nice. You get all the lights, and a lot of tourists like to walk alongside the harbor and have a good time. And on the top right is the Peak, which is the highest point in Hong Kong. It really overlooks the city, and it's really nice up there. Yeah, bottom right, that's my middle school. It's pretty small, but I go visit all the time. Yeah, and here's some more photos of my favorite places in Hong Kong. Top left is Disneyland. Fun fact is we got the only Frozen movie, like the ride, which is really cool. And then top right, we have Ocean Park, which is another amusement park. Bottom right, we have my favorite basketball court, which is pretty near where I live. So me and my friends go all the time. And bottom left, we have one of my favorite streets in Hong Kong. There's a lot of restaurants, local food, and a lot of nightlife too.
Okay, now there's me. So basically, as Ryan just said, we have Anna and Elsa, and we have a lot of food, dim sum, and egg waffle, and we also have very fancy mall, and a lot of fruits, and really bad traffic, housing prices, and stuff like that. But anyway, spinning Buddha, I made a spin. And here's the flag, and we have a lot of bars. Oh, okay, and then we also have VLT. Okay, I'm gonna say it. So, okay, so some people say we're made of 70% water, but I think we're made of 70% VLT. Thank you. Okay, now go please.
Thank you, Grace and Ryan, for the presentation about Hong Kong. Next, we have a large group representing India. That's Aditya Kumar Jha, Anuj Sinhal, Pranav Krishna Sanju Sridhar, Nanendra Santosh, Franklina Peter, Mayapa Sugam Chandrayan, and Prem Tikka. Take it away, please.
Big round of applause.
Good morning, folk. We're from India, as you all know. We'd like you to join us on this ride back home to India. So I'll hand over the mic to Pranav Krishna.
Thank you. Have you all read Tintin before I continue? No one? That's disappointing. So there's this book called Tintin in Tibet where he had to travel to Tibet via India. And these are some of the stereotypes that I found while reading this book. Like, for example, cows on the road, crowded place, which it still is, cultural clothes, Qutub Minar, and street vendors on the streets. Although this is true, this is in like the 1940s, and people still think that this is India. What we would like to show you are some more about the things other than the stereotypes in India. Yes, Delhi is also another place and the capital of India. Mumbai is not the only place in India.
Well, so what does India have? India has a great diverse culture, a lot of amazing food,
many different languages and a lot of people.
India has 29 states actually, 8 union territories, more than 120 languages, and every state in India has a language by itself, all in one country. And mainly India has
People. I'm sure you all have heard something or the other about Indian population. Am I right? Well, let me tell you all, everything you all heard, or almost everything, is probably true. India is the world's largest, has the world's largest population. It has 1.4 billion people. And let me tell you, all, it's not only population. We are also very diverse. We have more than 700 different tribes and representations of every single language in our country.
So India has a lot of festivals, and the pictures here, they represent 3 festivals that I would like to cover. And the first one is Holi, and it is the festival of colors where people throw colors at each other and have like a water gun fight. Next is Diwali, the festival of lights. In the Hindu religion, this is where the people of Ayodhya welcome Lord Ram after his exile, and they welcomed him by lighting up lamps, their houses, and exchanging gifts.
And if you see the third image over there filled with food and spices, that's usually eaten as a large feast when we are welcoming our Lord Mahabali once a year in a festival called Onam. Although some food may be disgusting, it's still good for your body and good for your digestion.
Speaking of food, Indian food is not just butter chicken, guys. We have a lot more. So we have dosa, we have idli, we have vada pav, we have pav bhaji, we have pani puri, and we have samosa, mutton biryani. Now, if you come to India and you haven't had pani puri or mutton biryani, I feel sorry for you. You haven't experienced India unless you've had either of these 2 chows or dishes.
All right, so enough about food. Now let's talk about what India is famous for. So when you talk about India, you cannot skip the educational system in India. So out of all the undergrad students at UCSC, I am pretty sure that at least 50% of them would have taken JEE, would have failed in it, and then you can guess whatever happened. So IIT stands for Indian Institute of Technology. So before telling you about IITs, what is the most prestigious university in US? UC Santa Cruz. Yeah, it's one of them, in front of them, yeah. All right, so Massachusetts Institute of Technology, acceptance rate 2%. Guess the acceptance rate of Indian Institute of Technology. Lesser. 0.02. All right, so in the previous presentations, you must have heard like the population of some countries or some regions is around 1 million, 1.5 million. Guess how many students, high school seniors, take this exam? 2 million. 2 million. That was a spoiler, come on. Anyways, and out of those 2 million, just 5,000 students get into this institute. So it's pretty prestigious. And once you take these exams and apparently fail in it, you go on vacations. So India is one of the most diverse country with one of the most beautiful flora and fauna in all around the world, which I will hand over to Anuj.
Oh, so apart from the Taj Mahal and the Lotus Temple, which is something that we all know, India also has Kashmir. Kashmir is probably one of the best sites in the world that you could see. It has lakes at altitudes of like 5,000 meters. We also have Hampi. This is like a city full of rocks, like rocks have rained on the city or something, you'd feel like. There are mountains full of rocks and the rocks are not falling over. It's really, really like interesting and you think you're in a simulation. Before ending, I just want to say India has 2 slogans. There's one in Sanskrit, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, which is our G20 motto. That means the whole world is one family. And also we have Atithi Devo Bhava, which means that guest is God. So we welcome you all to visit India. Dhanyavad.
Up next, please come on over.
I'll introduce you guys. All right, thank you, Aditya, Anuj, Pranav, Nanendra, Franklina, Maya, and Prem. Next, representing Kosovo, the new country of Kosovo, relatively new country of Kosovo, are Twana Grabovce, Rihanna Kucha, sorry, Suela Selima, and Ulka Lohai. I got that right? All right, okay, take it away.
Hello, everybody, or as we say in Albanian, përshëndetje. I am Tuana Grabovce, Physics 02, and I'm going to give a short and brief presentation about the country where I was raised and born, Kosovo. This is a picture of our capital city, Pristina, at nighttime, as you can see. And as you see in the first picture is Kosovo's flag, with its blue field, 6 white stars, and the golden map in the center. The stars represent 6 ethnicities that live in Kosovo, Albanians being the majority of it. In the second picture, we can see a map with borders, which are Albania, Montenegro, Serbia, and Macedonia.
Hello, everyone. I'm Suida Fedimin. I'm from CSE 04, and I'm going to be talking about a very important topic about our country, which is the traditional clothing. Our traditional clothing is very rich in cultural heritage with different styles for different genders, occasions, and regions. The most iconic clothing about our country is the fustanela, which is a white skirt for men. And it's usually combined with a ples, which is like a hat, and usually Albanian men wear that to represent pride. And they usually wore that all the time and all ages, but now they only wear that on weddings. The oldest part about the whole outfit is like the downer part, like the shoes, because they are since the Illyrian times and they're made out of leather. And they usually are worn by Northern Albanian men. We have now the woman clothing, which is like a long skirt with like a lot of jewelry, especially gold jewelry, because Albanian women love to wear gold jewelry. And it's like the vest, like the one I'm wearing right now, which is very like colorful and usually comes with red and black colors because it represents our flag. Here we have like our family member photos, which like we have like Tuana's brother Yle, and we have Rihanna's brother Igonin, and my sisters, Aya and Reina.
Përshëndetje. I am Rihanna Kuche and in Chemistry 03, and today I'm going to talk about Albanian cuisine, which is a delightful fusion of different flavors and traditions, reflecting our country's rich history and different cultural influences. One of the most cherished dishes in our culinary heritage is flia, which you can see at the top right corner. This food is often considered the oldest Albanian food. Our ancestors, the Illyrians, crafted this dish in honor of the sun god, drawing inspiration from the radiant, layered appearances that resembles the sun's rays. Flia, or all these meals that you see in the projector, aren't just meals. They are a celebration of our history and identity. In our culture, sharing food is an act of generosity. That's why when you sit at an Albanian table, you aren't a guest, you're a family. Albanian hospitality is legendary. We open our homes and hearts to strangers and friends alike. Our cuisine and code of honor, which is called Besa, that we never break, is a testament to this warmth and kindness.
Hello, everyone. I'm going to continue to the last part, which are the most beautiful places in Kosovo. Starting with the first one is it's a castle. It's a castle where three empires have fallen: the Byzantine, the Serb Empire, and the Roman Empire, which is the Prizren's castle. which is a very nice place where you can see the whole city from the castle. If you go there, it's a really historical place. I recommend everyone who comes to Kosovo to see this place. The second place is actually the capital city of Kosovo, which is Pristina, which is the most fun and nice place to hang out if you come for the first time. The first place is actually a natural phenomenon that happened near my city, where there's a river that divides into two branches, and those two branches flow into different seas. The fourth photo is it's actually a canyon, which is in Urgol, which is a really nice place for hiking. People usually go there for the year and to hike. The second photo is it's a really nice place to swim, which is Milushas Falls. Milushas Falls divides into 16 branches that make 16 natural pools, which it's a really nice place to go in the summer. And the last place is actually a city, which is Prizren, which was also the city that had the castle, which is considered the most beautiful place in Kosovo.
Next, representing Lesotho, it's Sepiso Mohale.
Big round of applause.
Yes, you did. Hello, everyone. My name is Sebisa and it translates to promise. My surname is Mohale and it translates to warrior. I come from Lesotho. So this is the location of where Lesotho is. It is in the southern part of Africa. And we are a small, beautiful country inside of the country called South Africa. So Lesotho is a monarchy, which means we have a king. So the first founder of the Basotho Nation was the first king of the Basotho Nation, and his name is King Moshoeshoe I. So this is the current royal system that we have right now. So the name of our king is called Litiye III. The queen's name is Masenate Mohatose Iso. They have two beautiful princesses and one prince. So the prince is our age mate. Speaking of royalty, my uncle is a chief, so that says I am a princess. I try to wear a crown, as you can see it, represented as a headwear. So this is our cultural clothes, the ones that we used to wear at the very beginning of the Basotho Nation. The boys used to wear a cloth called tia that only covers the private parts. And the girls also used to wear a thread-like thread, which you can see over there. But this is what we now wear currently, which is called gobo, which basically translates to a blanket. Women wear a dress that is called sitresha, which is what I'm wearing today. That is me in my cultural attire, wearing what we call gobo, a blanket. So fun facts about Lesotho. So we are entirely above 1,400 meters in elevation. That gives us the nickname called the kingdom in the sky. So if you can't pronounce Lesotho, you can just say the kingdom in the sky. The Basotho people will know that you're speaking about Lesotho. Lesotho has the highlands and the lowlands. In the highlands of Lesotho, it is always snowy. So most of the people go there for winter activities or winter sports. We have abundant water resources. This is just one of it, and it's called Kate Dam. We also have Mohale Dam and Malitingane Falls. Because of this, we are the main supplier of water to the country called South Africa. Yeah, Leboa, and that is thank you and sister.
Right, next, thank you very much, Tsepiso. Next, representing Macedonia is Adam Chesto-Valiev.
I'll be presenting about Macedonia, and my name is Adam Chesto-Valiev. All right, so in case you don't know where Macedonia is, and you probably don't, it's in Europe, more specifically, Eastern Europe. If you know where Greece is, it's right above Greece, and it's right below Serbia. It also borders Albania, Kosovo, and Bulgaria. So some facts about Macedonia: its population is just above 2 million, so pretty small. Its language is Macedonian, the capital city is Skopje, and its size is 25,000 square kilometers. All right, so the capital city, as I said, is Skopje. These are sort of 3 significant places from the capital city I chose. So first is the Museum of the Macedonian Struggle for Independence. So this basically showcases Macedonia's path to independence from the struggle against the Ottomans, which began in the late 18th century until the independence from Yugoslavia, which was 1991. Next is a picture from the main statue, sort of in the center of the city. This is a statue of Alexander the Great. And then we have the Kala Fortress. This is the oldest sort of, I guess, building in Skopje. And the city of Skopje actually was located inside the Kala Fortress for a very long time. The Kala Fortress was first built during the rule of Justinian I, so during the Byzantine times. And later also existed during the Ottoman occupation. And now it's a UNESCO heritage site. All right. One of the sort of very popular destinations in Skopje, a very popular tourist destination in Macedonia, is Ohrid, which is also a UNESCO heritage site. Here you'll see a picture of I think it is the oldest monastery in Macedonia. It's around 1,400 years old. Ohrid is very popular for like water sports, so water skiing, kiting, swimming, etc. Right. Here are some of sort of the traditional foods in Macedonia. You have tavče guavče, which is basically just baked beans. You have sarma, which is rice and spices rolled inside either cabbage or the leaf of like grapes. I like the grape leaf one better. Then we have moussaka, burek, and puneti piperki, which is basically just bell peppers with spices, rice, and meat inside. So Alexander the Great is sort of one of the most, I guess, important historical figures in Macedonia, also very important historical figure in the world. He conquered a large part of Asia and also Africa, and he helped spread Macedonian influence sort of across the world. All right, so here are some other historical sites. So first we have Stobi, which used to be one of the biggest, I guess, towns or cities in Macedonia, in ancient Macedonia, and later would go on to become the Roman capital of the Macedonian province. Then we have the Old Bazaar, which was built during Ottoman times, served as the main marketplace in Macedonia, and then was renovated, and is still sort of you'll see lots of traditional shops there even to this day. Thank you. I hope you will go well.
Thank you so much, Adam. Next, representing Mexico, Andres Marcos Ordóñez.
Big round of applause.
Hello, I am Andres Marcos Ordóñez, and I come from Mexico. Before I start, I just want to say, in Mexico, you have 2 last names because you take the last name of your father and your mother, and that is your 2 last names. And so, first off, I want to present about where are the origins of the Mexican culture. For the 2 minutes I was given, I'm only going to present about this. And so to start, the first part is called Mesoamerica, and this part is all of the ruins, which are from many different cultures. There's a lot of them, but just to name a few, the Mayas, the Aztecas, the Purépechas and Tarascos, the Tlaxcaltecos, and the many more. And these are some of the ruins. You might recognize this one called Chichen Itza. And it's in this region right here. Some of the stuff that still stands is there's, for example, one holiday that is called Day of the Dead, or Dia de Muertos in Spanish. And here is a picture of me with my face painted as a Catrín. Then the Spanish came and They evangelized everyone and made 78, and now 78% of the population is Catholic. And they brought many things, like, well, the language as well. And also they brought many animals, which now contribute to our food. One of the main things they use these animals for is barbacoa. And here's a
Okay. Hi everyone, my full name is Sanya Tamartisham, but everyone calls me Sanya, and I'm a rising senior at the British School of Ulaanbaatar. And today I'm going to be talking about where I'm from, which is Mongolia. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, Mongolia is right between Russia and China. It's located in Asia, and we have a population of around 3.4 million people, despite our large land area. We used to be a Soviet satellite state, but currently we're a democratic republic, and our official language is Mongolian. So these are the three most populated cities in Mongolia. The first is Ulaanbaatar, the capital city, which is where I'm from, Ifnet and Afan, which have less than 100,000 people. And one of the most important things to consider when traveling to Mongolia is the weather. So during the winter, we have very low temperatures of around -40 degrees Fahrenheit and very high temperatures in the summer that can go up to 100 degrees Fahrenheit. But due to the arid climate and the lack of clouds that form, we're also called the land of the blue skies. So here's some places you can go to if you want to visit Mongolia. There's the Genghis Khan statue, which is the largest equestrian statue in the world, and the Golden Buddha statue, which is right in front of my house, and the Marco Polo statue, which are located in the capital city. So even though I live in the capital city, traditional culture is still a really big part of my life. So many of my extended family members live in traditional houses called girs, and I also own a lot of my own traditional clothing called girs. And we also play with ankle bones, like traditional ankle bones, and we also have a lot of classes for traditional music and traditional stuff as well. Okay. Here's a slide about food. To be honest, there's a lot of better things you could eat for your health and your enjoyment other than Mongolian food. But if you're really into like oil, fat, dairy, and meat, then you should definitely come to Mongolia. So we have things called vaskata, which is like dumplings and milk, tsenan, which is for stir-fried noodles, shud and arroz, which is like dried curds, and also that guy who's like my idol. So thank you.
Thank you, Sanya. Next, representing Pakistan, we have Maheen Manzoor.
Hello everyone. My name is Maheen Manzoor and I'll be representing Pakistan. I'm from Lahore. So let's talk about the flag first. So the white part of the flag represents the minorities in Pakistan and the green part represents the majorities of Pakistan. Pakistan borders India, Iran, Afghanistan, and China. And we have 5 provinces. We have Balochistan, Punjab, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, Sindh, and Gilgit-Baltistan. Firstly, I'll be presenting the architecture of Pakistan. The first picture that you can see is the mosque. It's called Bashari Mosque, which is a place for prayer. The second one is called the Sheesh Mahal, which means the Palace of Mirrors. And then the third one at the bottom is actually a school. And then we have this mosque as well, which is now like in ruins, so we can't really pray there. But it's known because it has pigeons on top always. And then we have the Minar in Pakistan and the Faisal Mosque. For transportation, we have a lot of truck art, and also we have things called rickshaws, which local people use because they're cheaper than cars. For the food, I think we have the best food in the world. So this is the food street in Lahore where there's always music and cultural food. We have Nahari, which is like, it's like gravy, and then we have Golgappe, which is like pani puri, and then we have biryani and halwa puri, which is a breakfast. And then for sweet, we have firni, which is like a rice pudding, and then jalebi, which is also another form of dessert. For the northern areas of Pakistan, we have different areas. We also have the second highest peak in the world, which is K2. And then we have glaciers and we have lakes such as Shangri-La. And then places like Hunza. We also have the people of Kailash, who wear these traditional clothing, and they welcome you into your homes by dancing. The culture in Pakistan is that guests are like a gift from God. So everyone is allowed to come into your houses, and we're very open. So if you need a place to stay, someone will let you stay in their house for free. And then for entertainment purposes, we have a game called the Seven Stones, where a person has to hit the stones, and if they fall, then they have to make it again while the other team hits you with the ball. Then we have cricket, which is a very competitive sport in Pakistan, and we're very good at it. And it's like a family sport, so everyone watches it. And we also have cinema screenings for it. And then we have puppeteering as well, which is very popular in Lahore. And then the last entertainment is this. So it's a wheel and a stick, and you have to take it to the end and back, and whoever brings it back first wins. So like our leader, Qaeda Azam, who made Pakistan, says Pakistan Zindabad, which means long live Pakistan. Thank you.
Very much, Ravi. Now, in case you haven't noticed, we've been going through countries in alphabetical order. You're probably wondering, Israel is not in alphabetical order after Pakistan, but as a matter of solidarity, three groups Israel, represented by Tevel and Khalil Seri.
Okay, so we'll start from where we live. So on the map, you can see the location of our village. And it's like a special village because Jews and Arabs live together.
Okay, so nature in Israel. We have the Dead Sea. It's a very special sea because it's the lowest part on Earth. And it's called the Dead Sea because the water is super salty and there's no living life there. Next we have the Negev Desert. The Negev Desert is half of Israel, the southwest half. And it's very big. The desert, very big part of the Bible and the Jewish history.
Okay, so we continue to important cities in Israel. So the first one is Jerusalem, which is the capital. Jerusalem has a lot of history connected to the three most popular religions in the world, Christianity, Islam, and Judaism. We'll go to Eilat next, which you can see on I don't know which side. But it's a special city because it has both desert and like sea mixed territories. It's one of the only cities like that in the world. And then we have Tel Aviv, which is the first Jewish city, and because of that, it's nicknamed the first Hebrew city.
Okay, so next our language. So in Israel, there is, I think, two language, Arabic and Hebrew. We will speak about the Hebrew language. So in the past, the Hebrew language was spoken only in prayers, and then some dude called Eliezer Ben Yehuda decided that he want the language will be spoken on daily basis. And he make everyone do it too.
Okay, so we'll talk about the history. So Israel was founded in 1948, but before that, in 1947, the UN decided to make the land of Israel to two different countries, an Arab country and a Jewish country.
Okay, so next, the IDF. This is the Israeli official military. So the IDF was established 2 weeks after the country was established. And it's mandatory military. And we have to go there in the age of 18, both boys and girls. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll talk about the kibbutzim. A kibbutz is a kind of village that happens mostly in Israel to claim land. So when you live in a kibbutz, nothing is really yours. You give what you can and you take what you need.
So the hardest part now. Us and the Palestinian girls decided that we have to talk about the hardest part. So in Israel, there's war right now. Okay, so on October 6th, there was this festival called Nova, and it was nearby Gaza. And then on the morning of the day after, the October 7th at 6 a.m., the terrorist organization Hamas entered to Israel and attacked Israel, attacked the people of the festival and the people in the kibbutzim near Gaza. And yeah, so since then we're in the war, and the war doesn't stop yet.
That's like a bit of the square for the kidnapped people and how their reality looks now in Israel. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kunal and Pavel. Next, speak about Palestine, representing Palestine, Yara Kuleikel, Shamdanaf, and Nair Rabah.
Hi everyone, my name is Yara Kuleikel. I'm 16 years old and I'm from Jerusalem, Palestine.
Hey everyone, I'm Shamdanaf. I'm 16 years old. I'm from Ramadi, Palestine.
Hi everyone, I'm Nair Rabah. I'm 16 from Palestine.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure most of you know where is Palestine or hear of it at least. So Palestine is in the Middle East. It borders by Lebanon, Syria, Jordan, and Egypt. And now about the culture.
So about the rich Palestinian culture. First, we have the Tatreez. Palestinian Tatreez is traditional Palestinian clothing. It's important to Palestinians because it represents their culture and history, showing their strength and identity. It won all around the world, especially by Arabs. Next, we have the Kufi. The Kufi represents Palestinian pride, unity, and power against occupation. Its special design and culture meaning have made it a strong symbol of Palestinian identity globally. Next, we have Dabki. Dabki is a lively traditional dance in Palestinian culture. It's often performed at weddings and celebrations. Dabki symbolizes unity, joy, and culture pride in Palestine, and it often expresses resilience. Last, we have the olive trees. The Palestinian olive tree shows how strong Palestinians are. It has been very important for food and work for many years, even with all the hard times. Seeing these trees gives hope and reminds people of their roots in the land. Next, we have the Palestinian food. These are some of the traditional Palestinian food that you must at least try one. There is za'atar here, and there is shawarma, and yeah.
Okay, now about the history. So all of the Palestinians would Palestine in peace and freely until 1948 when the Nakba happened. Nakba means catastrophe in English. During this period, hundreds and thousands of Palestinians were displaced for their homes. Many were forced to be removed from their towns, villages, cities, and even their country by the Israeli forces. About 700,000 Palestinians became refugees, seeking shelter in neighboring Arab countries like Lebanon, Jordan, Syria, and Egypt. After 1948, Palestine was divided into two, a Jewish state and Arab state. But after some time, the supposed Arab state started getting smaller and smaller due to ongoing occupation. And now what's left is Gaza, that you see in this map, and Palestine. During this time, Palestinians got separated. There are people who were forced to flee to other countries and leave Palestine, and the other stayed in Palestine, like West Bank and Gaza, and others lives in Israel till now, like us.
Okay, now for the hardest part. The unfortunate war in Gaza, which for us is the most important part of our culture, because without Gaza and without the Gazan people, the Palestinian culture wouldn't be complete. I've often wondered why some of us are privileged with food, shelter, and loving, healthy families, while others who are unfortunate face unimaginable worries like losing loved ones and watch their homes get destroyed. Right now, just kilometers away from my home in Jerusalem, the people of Gaza are enduring a hell beyond their comprehension. For over 16 years, Gaza has been besieged, as many of you know, controlled by external forces dictating access to essentials like water and electricity. Children there are forced to grow up amidst violence and bombings. Their innocence and childhood are unfortunately stolen by fear and uncertainty. Daily life there is a struggle for survival, with education and healthcare disrupted by ongoing conflicts. In the past 290 days alone, over 50,000 lives have been lost, including children, women, men, doctors, nurses, journalists, and peacekeepers. More than 85,000 are injured, lacking proper medical care, and over 70% of homes in Gaza have been destroyed. Now, I would like to ask you all to imagine yourself in their shoes. Imagine the constant fear for safety, the uncertainty of where your next meal will come from, or if clean water will be available. Please let us remember and empathize with those enduring such immense suffering. Thank you.
Next, representing Nazareth is Katrina Basabri.
Hello, everyone. My name is Katrina, and for very complicated reasons, I'm presenting my city, not my country, which is Nazareth. So, as a Christian person who grew up in Nazareth, I have always heard that it is the Holy Land where Jesus lived and grew up. And it always made me proud that I grew up in the same city as Jesus. And in Nazareth, we have Muslims and Christians who live alone in peace. And as a photographer, my favorite place in Nazareth is the old Nazareth market. I always love to go there and take some pictures. That's some pictures I took. And for fun fact about Nazareth, it is the largest Arab city of the country, and you can time travel in Nazareth village, like this picture, which was taken like these years, not very old. And there is the biggest church in the Middle East, and also we have the Nazareth Christmas market. This is a picture I took from my grandparents' house, which is the Nazareth Old Village. I recommend visiting it. It's so cool. And these are some traditional food like shawarma, falafel, ful, manouche, and hummus. And my favorite is probably falafel. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Thanks, Katrina. Next, representing South Korea, Republic of Korea, Jennifer Song, Young-jae Sim, and Won Jun Young. Lucas.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. Hi. We're all from South Korea, and I'm Lucas Wonjun Jong. Oh, I'm Julie Sim, Kim Young Sim.
And I'm Jennifer.
Yeah, so where are we from? As you can see on the map, South Korea is placed on the south of Korea. Sorry, and you know the country that's right above South Korea, where like, you know the, like, one of the recent issues where North Korea, like, sent some balloons, we poop some poops in them to South Korea. I know, and that made South Korea more famous than it was. And as you can see, South Korea itself is a cool country. Like, as you can see, like some images like on this slide, including a couple of pictures of our international schools in South Korea. And me, it is me, Lucas Wonjun Jung, coming from Seoul, and Jimmy from Pangyu, which is nearby Seoul as well, and Jennifer also from Seoul. We're basically like a family. Sorry, it was supposed to be persons that has that I have to present at the beginning of the presentation anyway. Like there are like thousands of places that you can visit in South Korea, but I came up with the top 4 places that you should visit, well, from my own experience. And before getting into this topic, have any of you visited South Korea? Can you guys raise your hands? That's good. That's better than yesterday, because for yesterday, only a couple of people raised their hands. Well, we're gonna start off with Jeju Island, and as you can see on the most left, we call it Hanlasan, which is the tallest mountain in South Korea. And it used to be a volcano, but it's now dormant. And yeah, and a lot of people go hike there to enjoy the landscape of dense forest, ocean, and some unique rock formations, and the lake at the peak. And the one right next to it is what Korean people call Doryeo, which is a carved like traditional statue in Jeju Island. And there's a story that if you touch his nose, you're gonna get pregnant. I'm not really sure about like if like boys are touching his nose. Let's be open-minded. And we're moving on to Namsan Tower. It is around 250 meters tall, placed on the top of a mountain. And what it is really cool about it is that you can see the view of the entire city around it. And also interesting or also cool that like it is one of the romantic places that you can visit where you can take pictures with your girlfriend or boyfriend at the top of the tower. But I don't think that's gonna happen to me. boyfriend or girlfriend, just feel free to join me. And Gyeongbokgung Palace is also a famous tourist attraction, and it has attracted like 4 million visitors every year. It was built in 1395 and once served as a home to the kings of Joseon Dynasty. And I'll say that visiting Gyeongbokgung Palace would be really helpful for you to get a taste of Korean like traditions. And the last word Hongdae is, I'll say, the most popular attraction among foreigners. Whenever they visit Seoul, they never miss the chance to visit Hongdae. To engage in various activities from Korean restaurants and karaoke, where you can sing Korean pop songs, to skiing cure shops, Olympion, PC rooms, and some more. And what's also interesting about this Hongdae place is that live streamers with from hundreds to millions of subscribers are having a live performance in the street, sharing the latest like features of Korean tradition. Did you guys make your mind like what one of the places I just presented that you're gonna go to if you visit South Korea? Yeah or no?
Yes.
Yeah, feel free to visit South Korea. I'm gonna take you guys to anywhere and buy you guys anything you want. Yeah, because I got my mom's credit card, which is an unlimited resource. So here we're gonna go for a more interesting topic. Yeah.
So I'm gonna be talking about the food in South Korea. So some typical dishes include bibimbap, tteokbokki, galbi, kimchi, mozzarella corn dogs, but they're known as hot dogs in Korea, kimbap, and samgyeopsal. And all of these are classified and known as hanji.
Of course, we can't forget about K-pop when we're talking about Korea. So you can probably recognize a lot of these artists. Most notably like J Park, Twice, and Psy from Gangnam Style, and yeah, BTS. So yeah, Korea has a big music entertainment, and when you walk down just the streets, you can hear a lot of K-pop songs. And of course, Korea is also really known for dramas and movies. So like Parasite, Squid Game, Crash Landing on You, these are really famous Korean movies and dramas. So yeah, these all showcase our country's dynamic entertainment industry. Yeah, so that was a brief introduction to Korea. 감사합니다. Thank you for listening.
One more time for Young Jay.
감사합니다. 고맙습니다. Next, representing Thailand is Rasmiwan Pair, Inka Sampan.
Big round of applause.
I'm gonna fly to the board. Hi, I'm Pair in Kasampan, or like Rasmi one Pair in Kasampan. Like people in Thailand were kind of given a Thai name and a nickname at birth. So my Thai name is Rasmi, my nickname is Pair. My sister's nickname is Cherry. We were named that because my dad likes eating both, but I don't think they're in his top 5 favorite fruits, actually. So that's great. Anyways, okay, say it with me. T is for try to swim to Thailand, I dare you. So Thailand's in Southeast Asia. We have 77 provinces, and we're like just a little bit bigger than California. But also T stands for tuk-tuks. I love them, they're great. H is for how dare you equator. It's hot and humid. We only have the wet and dry seasons. Also is for the holidays, Songkran. Songkran is like our Thai New Year's, and it's literally a nationwide water fight. Like that's how you celebrate. It's a week. You don't have school, and you just play around. And then Loi Krathong. So you either release krathongs onto water, or in the more northern provinces, you'll like release floating lanterns like you see in Tangled. They copied us. Hey. For a weird calendar, so the majority of Thais are Buddhist, and we also use the Buddhist year called Buddha Sakarat. And like for you math people, that's how you calculate it. Like right now, it's like year 2567, but we like use both the Gregorian solar dates and the Buddhist lunar dates like on our calendar. I love the food so much. There's little me feasting it up. I don't know what is happening there, but it's really good. We like really put an emphasis on like aromatic components with like a spicy edge. Oh, lovely leadership. So Thailand's in a constitutional monarchy, and Thai people value paying respects to the royal family very seriously. But fun fact, we have never been colonized, so take that. Okay, so in that picture on the left is our former King Rama IX, and on the right is our current King Rama X. Hey, again. A lot of cool and diverse areas. It's pretty. And it's for nightlife. The night is young, but clubbing is only fun when you are clubbing legally. Also, the name of Thailand's capital is like really long for no reason. It's one of the longest names in the world. And in elementary school, my Thai teacher made us memorize it. So it's Krungthep Mahanakhon Amanattanakosit Mahinphala Yuthiya Mahadilo Popnabarat Natakani Buri Domudom Nachani Wait Mahasatanaman Pimanatan Sati Satapatiya Usunukum Plasit. So that's the full name of Thailand's capital. We usually just call it Krungthep or Krungthep Mahanakhon, but in English it's Bangkok. So yeah. Don't learn the language. There's 76 letters in Thai, there's 44 consonants and 32 vowels, so you can see it there. And then like the consonants split into like 3 different groups, which each have its own tonal rules, but we have like 5 tones. Here's like a more, yeah, that's like kind of a simple breakdown of it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Next, we have again a pair of joint presentations, or actually a pair of presentations back to back. First, we're going to hear from Berrak Karabulut and Zeynep Erkoç. They're going to talk about the country of Turkey, but right following that, we'll have a presentation about the Kurdish people of Turkey.
Hi, my name is Berrak Karabulut. I'm 17 years old and I'm a rising engineer.
Hi, my name is Zeynep. I attend Garden School in Massachusetts. And today we're representing our dearest country, Turkey, or Turkey, as we know. So Turkey is connecting 2 continents, respectively, Asia and Europe. So when you land to Istanbul Airport, which happens to me pretty much almost in 2 months or whatever, you basically travel 3 continents in a day, which is really funny because you land in the Europe side, and if you're going to the Anatolian side, it's very funny. Our neighbors are Bulgaria, Greece, Syria, Armenia, and Georgia. And this is our founder, Mustafa Kemal Atatürk, which you can see his death date, but we still live with his ideals and with his progressive moments. He created Turkey, a democracy that hosts many cultures to this day, from scratch when Ottoman Empire started falling. And he's a very influential leader, not only as a political figure, but also a figure who still empowers peace in the world. And his famous saying, "Peace at home, peace at world," is still known, and he still lives with his ideals to this day. And this is where I live. This is Istanbul. This is Galata Tower. You should be super careful about it because there's a myth if you're going like up with someone, that's the person who you're gonna marry with. So just be mindful of that. Like, don't go with someone random, I guess. And this is like the shore. This is like Bosphorus, and it's really fun to go around. And it's kind of like a very nice scenery. The weather is amazing, and there are a lot of tourist attractions. And I strongly suggest you to visit Istanbul, not only as a city of Turks, but as a city of heritage and culture that encapsulates many, many empires to this day, and also contains very, very, very antique museums, and the Turkish culture is also amazing.
And Istanbul is known for being a city of cats, and also not Istanbul, only in anywhere in Turkey you can find many cats. I even have 7 cats in my house, and we love them so much. And we have delicious Turkish food. Here is mantı, it's kind of dumpling, but the smaller version of it. And here's baklava. You know probably baklava, and it's made in like different countries, but the making style is different. And also here's lahmacun. Here's döner, it's kind of shawarma, but also different. And also here's kuru fasulye, here's ayran. It is the national drink of our country. It's made with yogurt, water and salt. And here's Turkish chai. We value Turkish chai a lot. And we are good at sports so much. And here's our national volleyball team. They won the Volleyball Nations League and European champions in 2023. And also here's our national soccer team. Here's our national swimmer. And here's our national archery sporter called Mete Gazoz. He won also the championships in 2020. Thank you. Teşekkür ederim.
Teşekkür ederiz. Go Türkiye.
I wish I had 7 cats.
Thank you, Berak and Zeynep. Next, representing the Kurdish people of Turkey and surrounding countries, the Kurdish people are 3 2024 interns, Roshan Yüksel, say your name correctly, a brother, Nushan and her brother Roshan Yüksel, and Ikra Kabushu. No? Sorry. All right, take it away.
Hi everyone. So yeah, here. Is it okay?
Okay.
Hi everyone. Thank you for listening us. I know you have questions in your minds. First of all, wait, what is Kurd? Or why are they 2 Turkeys? Questions a lot. So we are here to explain. But first, who are we? Oh, okay. I think so.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm Ikra, I'm a rising sophomore and I'm in Lino 1.
I'm Yujan, I'm a rising junior, and then I'm in Cycle 9.
I'm Rojan, I'm a rising freshman and I'm in Little 7.
So first of all, who are Kurds? So we Kurds are an ethnic group native to the Middle East, specifically the Mesopotamian region, and we live in a disputed area, and millions of Kurds have lost their lives during internal conflicts. And we are stateless, and we don't have a state. And the closest thing we have to a state is the Kurdistan Autonomous Region in Iraq, but we don't have any governmental bodies in Turkey or in any other country we live in, such as Iran and Syria. Our city, Diyarbakır, amazing Kurdish, is
a predominantly Kurdish city, and it's home to various different cultures and religions. We have the Church of St. Georgios, which is the largest Armenian church in the Middle East. We have the Great Mosque, which is thought to be the oldest mosque in Turkey, and the Chaldean Church, which is used by Catholics today.
We wanted to talk about our language a bit. So Kurdish language, which has 4 dialects, is spoken approximately by 35 to 40 million people today. And it's predominantly spoken in the colorful areas, as you can see in the map. And contrary to what is believed, Kurdish language is not Arabic. It is a part of the Indo-European language group. So if you folks speak any of these languages, you might find some similarities. So we wanted to show you our language a bit. So these are the common greetings in Kurdish. For example, we have Slav for hi, or Chalani for how are you? And if you guys know a little French, you should have instantly noticed the Sava right over there. We have Spas for thank you, which is also similar to Spasiba in Russian, and we use Rojbash for have a nice day. So we wanted to talk about our culture. Dek is a big part of our culture, which means tattoos. And if you ever visit a Kurdish city, you would have noticed like 80 years old grandmas having tattoos all over their faces and hands, which represents Mesopotamian symbols. And we love our clothes. We have like colorful clothes with golden accents. And we have some unique instruments for our music. For example, we have saz, erbana, or kemanche right over there. And we use them a lot in traditional Kurdish music.
In our celebrations, we have a dance named Shemane, musical celebrations, and our biggest celebration ever. In our Kurdish cuisine, we have kadayıf as dessert, mumbar, çiğ köfte, patlıcan kebap, kaburga dolması, and dish pilaf.
And living in Mesopotamian region, we have a lot of ancient cities and buildings, including Dara Ancient City, Zayzavan, and Diyarbakır City Walls, which is in our city. And a fun fact about that, it is considered the second longest city walls after the Chinese one. So Spas, and thank you for listening.
Thanks, Nushan, Roshan, and Ikra. Next, going to hear about Ukraine from Maria Gusenko.
Right, yeah. Okay, so my name is Maria and I'm from Ukraine, and pretty much I'm not going to talk about history at all, but I'm going to take architecture. And if you're like not a fan of architecture, don't be guilty of falling asleep, it's okay. So first of all, we need to know that Ukraine have different natural dance and therefore different landscapes like mountains and forests, forest steeps, and also beach. And we will start from the Black Sea, which is right here, if anybody knows or not. So in 8 to 7 BC, Greek colonies had this territory, and therefore there still remain some columns and monuments. Fortunately, not many of them were saved, but it's still kind of interesting. By history of art, we know that there is medieval times after ancient times, and we also have Roman Gothic architecture with dates about 11th to 12th century. And it mostly was so from the Black Sea, we were moving to the east and to the center. So at that point, it was a country called Rus, and there was exactly Kiev, and the photo here is from Santa Sophia Cathedral. It's like 10 minutes walk from my house, so I walked there with my dog. And it's the only thing, the inside is the only thing that remains from the old times, from the history. And we can see the postures that are quite inherent for the medieval Europe, and we can see how medieval Europe influenced, and especially Catholic, and religion, you can see a lot of gold. So the outside of Santa Sophia Cathedral, which is the white building with the bath, the red bricks is the only thing that remains from the time. Moving further, it's still medieval times, the end of 14th century, we can see how Ukraine became the Lithuanian and Polish states, therefore Polish architecture, it influenced Ukraine. You can see that there was quite a big problem with Tatars, and therefore there was a big need for protection, and therefore we can see a lot of castles in the west. Like we're skipping Baroque, Rococo, and Renaissance, but Gothic architecture is still something that remains from The times it's the end of 14th century till the 15th century. There's still like something remains exactly the same way it was centuries ago. And it's basically when the Germans moved to Ukrainian cities, they brought their style, their culture, and also the need for protection was not the most important thing, so people were quite relaxed. Moving to 1900s and 2000s, we can see classicism and Soviet buildings. And Soviet buildings had a really interesting purpose of making the cheapest buildings in the country. At that point, it was Soviet Union. And they actually succeeded because even during 21st century, we have this new modern office buildings. They're also for living. They remain a high cost, so many people live in Soviet buildings. Thank you.
Thanks, Maria.
First, we have Harihar.
Yeah. Next, we have a pair of presentation. First one is by Harihar Rengan. It's about the United Arab Emirates. And then Neela Kamal will talk specifically about Dubai. Harihar is next.
Oh. Oh. Is it all in the same one?
No, it's a different.
It's the master one, right?
No, wait, is that the?
Yeah, it's you.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm Harry Harangan. I'll talk about.
Much louder.
I'll talk about the United Arab Emirates, the UAE. So, the first question that many people have is, what is an emirate? It's simply a form of government. And the UAE is currently the only federation of emirates, but there are other separate emirates that are individual states, and some examples are such as Kuwait and Qatar. And so the UAE has 7 emirates, and there's Dubai, Fujairah, Ajman, Al Quwain, Ras Al Khaimah, as well as the capital, Abu Dhabi. Each emirate is ruled by a sheikh, and the president of the UAE is the Sheikh of Abu Dhabi, whilst the prime minister is the Sheikh of Dubai. So the Sheikh of Abu Dhabi is His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, and while the Sheikh of Dubai is His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum. So some tourist attractions in Dubai, which is the main source of income for the UAE after oil, is the Burj Khalifa and the Burj Al Arab. So the word Burj means tower, and both of these are iconic buildings that are unique in Dubai. The Burj Khalifa is, as many people know, the world's tallest building, and it stands at 828 meters tall. The Burj Al Arab is a luxury hotel. It even has a helipad, and it's the world's only 7-star hotel. So Dubai and Abu Dhabi. These are some parks and tourist attractions there. So there's the Dubai Mall, which is one of the world's largest malls. There's Yas Island, which is a luxury island in Abu Dhabi, which includes Ferrari World. And there is a Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, which is held there, I think, regularly. There is Dubai Parks and Resorts, which is a collections of parks. There are things such as Legoland there. And then there is Atlantis Aquaventure, which is the world's largest water park with over 105 attractions such as slides and things. And it's even complete with its own hotel called Atlantis. Thank you.
Thanks, Harihar. Next, representing Dubai is Neela Kamal.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Nila, and today I'm going to be talking specifically about Dubai. So, we all know Dubai for its famous skyline, like especially for Burj Khalifa. What many people don't know is also the mountainous regions that are found in Dubai. And also the hot weather, it goes up to 140 to 150 degrees Fahrenheit in the summer. And also there's some national food, which is called logay mas. I don't know if the pronunciation is good, but it's essentially fried balls of dough dipped in date honey. And we typically have it after like a heavy meal and we want like dessert. Another thing a lot of people have asked me coming to sit is, do I own a Lamborghini? To answer this question, no, I don't. I do know people that do own like cool cars, but not a Lamborghini. How do I beat the heat in Dubai? is also another popular question I get asked. Some of the things we do, mostly the things that we do are indoors. So that's IMG Worlds of Adventure, which is one of the largest indoor theme parks in the world. And there's also SeaWorld in Dubai, in Abu Dhabi actually, which is also one of the largest aquariums in the world. And that is Dubai Museum of the Future. And once it gets a bit chillier, we go hiking. So that's me hiking with my friends. And that's all for me today. Thank you.
Right. The last of the countries, but certainly not the least, Zimbabwe, represented by Nicole Makasa and Tadishwa Mukisi.
Big round of applause.
Good afternoon, everybody. We're here to talk about Zimbabwe. So first of all, Zimbabwe is located between the equator and the Tropic of Capricorn. So we have a savanna ecosystem, so it's usually hot during the whole year. And in our native language, how we say hello, we say Makali. And quick fact about that background, that is Victoria Falls, combined with its height and its width, it's the largest waterfall in the world. It's very beautiful. In our native language, we call it Mosia Tunya, which means the smoke that thunders. Because when it's there, it's loud and it's misty, and there's a rainbow, and it's really nice.
Okay, so this is our capital city, Harare, and the other one is our second capital city, which is called the city of Queens, and Queens called Bulawayo. This is where our famous leaders, the Kazim, sold our country because of the handful of sugar they need. And that is our national flag. So this color that are on the national flag has different meanings. Green, which stands for vegetation. Our economy is based on agriculture, hence making our country the breadbasket of Africa. Then gold, which stands for minerals. In Zimbabwe, we have over 60 different kinds of minerals. Red stands for the bloodshed, black stands for the majority, and then that is our national flag, which also serves in our totem. It also happens to be in our totem, the Woven totem. And then the star is the star of war, and then the triangle is the triangle of peace and stability. So in Zimbabwe, we have one, like, we consider ourselves as one family, and this is shown by how we greet each other. So when we greet you, we say Makali, which means how are you? And in response, we say Tilipo Kanakulipo. That means that I am because you are. I am alive because you are here. Then when we say good morning, we say Mamukase. And in response, we say Tamuka Kanamamkao. I have woken up because you've also woken up. So it just outlines how united we are. And then we have the Chinoi Caves. Inside the Chinoi Caves, we have this beautiful dam, which is called crystal clear water amongst multiples. If you see something funny or you comment, you disappear. I don't know where you go. And then that's the Nyanga Mountain. We climbed it once this year. It is also believed that if you comment on something, like if you see anything funny or if you smell any smell, you don't comment, because if you do, you disappear. But it didn't disappear, so
Well, it is kind of true, but yeah, that's how it is in Zimbabwe. Most places are weird. If you just do anything funny, you might just disappear and nobody finds you. So this is Great Zimbabwe. This is an ancient civilization which has been there for over 1,000 years, and that is rocks and stones piled upon each other. So it used to be a trade place for gold. The Arabs would come and trade with gold. It was a really prominent city back in the day, and it's called Zimbabwe, which our name Zimbabwe is derived from, which literally means house of stone, because it's stones and rock. Also, a fun fact about this place, you don't say anything you don't do anything funny or you might just disappear. And then we put on some people that you might know. The top left corner, that's the Duke, if you've seen Bridgerton. And then we have the General from Black Panther. These are Zimbabweans. James Manika, the Vice President of Google, and we have Tinashe, you know, freaky, yeah. So, yeah. And we say in Maitabasa, in the next second.
Thank you, Nicole and Kadiswa. Look, as amazing as this list of international students has been, I'm astounded by this list, actually. This is not the complete list. There were many international students who, for a variety of reasons, didn't get to present today. There were countries that didn't get represented today. Apologize for that. There's one country we haven't talked about at all, which is the United States, and that's what's coming next. I know many of you are keen to go to the picnic. Don't worry, there'll be food afterwards, so hang tight. We have a few presentations from different parts of the United States next, starting with the East Coast. And for that, I'm going to hand it over to Peter Yang and Eric Chen to talk about Maryland.
So I'm Eric Chen.
And I'm Peter Yang.
And we're from Maryland. We're both from the Gilman School in Baltimore.
All right, so Maryland is a state on the East Coast, right below Pennsylvania and right above Virginia.
So sports are a big part of our culture. So we have two professional sports teams, namely like the Baltimore Orioles and the Baltimore Ravens for baseball and football respectively. And lacrosse is also a big part of like college and the college and high school levels.
We also have access to Chesapeake Bay. So we have a huge lobster, oyster, and crab market. And also everyone here uses Old Bay, which is a seasoning from Maryland. So yeah, that's about it. And thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Next, representing Massachusetts is Catherine Dane.
Hi everyone, my name is Catherine. I go to Middlesex School, which is located in Concord, Massachusetts, and I've lived there for a little less than half my life. Before that, I lived in Vermont, so I'm very used to the 4 seasons that we have, unlike California. We have very hot summers and also very, very cold winters. Some days you can ski to school, I'm not even joking. We also have a lot of wildlife, so black bears and brown bears, a lot of coyotes and deer. There's some around my backyard, and then we have the Red Sox and the Celtics. One of the focal points of Massachusetts is probably Boston. If you're gonna go to Massachusetts, you're probably going to go to Boston. It's a pretty quaint like city. There's a lot of fun things you can do both for locals and for tourists. My friends and I like to go to Newbury Street a lot just to hang out and talk. There's also a lot of like parks and trails that you can go on in Massachusetts because of the Revolutionary War that happened around most of the area. There's a lot of like fun history stuff you can do. There's like a really cool Paul Revere statue right outside my house. And then obviously we have Harvard and MIT, which is Harvard's located in Cambridge, Massachusetts, and MIT's in Boston. So yeah, if you're gonna visit Massachusetts, you should probably go to one of those colleges. My favorite thing to do in Massachusetts is probably get on a 3-hour car ride and go to New York, but that's just me, I guess. Thank you.
New Jersey is next, represented by Arjun Bhardwaj and Ben Shaw.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Ben Zaff from Westfield High School, and I'm ANT 01.
I'm Arjun Bhardwaj from Princeton Day School, and I'm in LAL 01. We're here today to represent our home state, New Jersey.
You might have heard of it, you might have not, but basically, here's the rundown. Before we begin, New Jersey is pretty small, right? It's so small that it could fit in your state of mind. Was that a good one?
No.
Okay.
Let's move on. So the first thing that comes to mind, probably what you're thinking of right now, is our very prestigious Princeton University. Here's a picture of a cool rainbow. It's like right there.
In case you haven't been also, here's a picture of the main campus and its fall colors. Please accept this.
In the heart of New Jersey lies our state capital, which is Trenton.
Tons and tons and tons and tons of juicy, great state stuff happens there. Juicy. Here is the only one and only Jersey Shore, home to the best boardwalks and beaches there are.
Edison, sometimes referred to as the India of New Jersey, is home to Indian restaurants, jewelers, people, grocery stores, and more. My family likes to visit a lot.
This is Newark International Liberty Airport. If you ever will fly into New Jersey, then here is where your first steps will be taken. It's New Jersey's own hub of culture.
Basically the UCSD of the East Coast. Rutgers is a great school where many happy New Jersey students end up each year.
If you're ever in New Jersey at the right time, go to one of the football games. And finally, if you ever do wake up and decide to visit New Jersey, that's not to go to New York. Here's a brief visitor's guide.
From Liberty State Park, you can enjoy magnificent views of the New York City skyline while even enjoying a picnic.
At Duke Farms, walk through the ruins of a billionaire's mansion while enjoying the picturesque waterfalls and wildlife along the way.
Grounds for sculptures and homes have huge works of art created by both celebrated and aspiring professionals. Sometimes the work measured up to 20 times the average size of a human.
We love New Jersey. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Arjun, and Benjamin. Kai Kim Suzuki, Wallace Taft, and Meg Yan will next talk about the state of New York.
Okay, all right. Hi, guys, I'm Kai.
I'm Wallace.
And I'm Meg.
And we're representing New York, specifically Manhattan, which was circled in, okay, there we go. It's circled in a red box, in the red box there, okay. So instead of boring you with statistics about the Statue of Liberty and stuff, which you probably already know, we're gonna talk about what we like to do in our free time in the city. Okay, so first is Central Park, and more specifically the Great Lawn, which is where I like to go with my friends on days off from school to play spike ball all day, or when school ends early.
One of my favorite things to do when I have free time in the city is visit Koreatown, which is filled with delicious restaurants, and a lot of fun stores.
A neighborhood I like to visit is Chinatown, which is also filled with a bunch of Chinese restaurants, stores, salons, and more. So there's a lot of Chinese culture in the city. And there's a lot of museums in New York. The biggest one is the Met. And the Metropolitan Museum of Art is actually the biggest museum in the US and the fourth biggest in the world.
Another fun place to go in your free time is Madison Square Garden to see big events. You can see concerts here and also see the New York Rangers and the New York Knicks play their home games.
Okay, so lastly is the portal, which you guys might have seen on Instagram. This is on the left is a photo that I took of the people in what was it, Dublin, Ireland, putting up a photo of Kanye West. This was right before it got shut down, so yeah. Thank you.
Next we have Hawaii.
Thanks, Kai, Wallace, and Meg. Next, we have representing Pennsylvania.
Hawaii.
Oh, sorry, going to Hawaii next. I'm sorry, okay. Our Gwyneth Chan and Joshua don't have on our list. Okay, all right. Will represent the beautiful islands of the state of Hawaii.
Aloha, my name is Gwyneth Chen and I'm from the island of Oahu.
and I'm in project AS206.
Hi, I'm Joshua Wong. I am also from Oahu and I am in psychology 9.
Okay, so first, Hawaii didn't actually become a state until 1959. About 1,500 years ago, Hawaii was first inhabited by Polynesian voyagers. In the photo to the right, we see a statue of King Kamehameha I in traditional yellow plumed attire. In modern day Hawaii, we like to wear our aloha shirts and aloha attire. We also have Hawaiian Pidgin, a dialect used in most casual settings. We give out a lei, traditional Hawaiian garlands, as a way of honoring each other, and it is in our culture to respect the land.
Okay, so food in Hawaii, we have a lot of food. So first of all, we have traditional Hawaiian food. Poi, it's made out of taro root. So we also have loco moco, that's the steak with the egg on top of it. I know it looks a bit weird, but it's pretty delicious. We got malasadas, we got shaved ice, Simon, Samusubi, poke, kalua pork, manapua, lalau, haupia, and lumpia. Okay, so for the fun facts. The Big Island, that's the one on the bottom right of the map. If you can see it, that's the Big Island. It's actually named Hawaii. So the state's named Hawaii and the island is also named Hawaii, so don't get it confused. Hawaii has the longest life expectancy out of any US state, and the Hawaiian Islands are formed by moving across a hotspot in the Pacific. So there's a lot of islands, there's 137 officially recognized Hawaiian Islands, but there's only 8 main ones. So in Hawaii, you can see turtles and whales in the beaches, but just don't touch them. And people don't really honk in Hawaii because it's considered rude. And billboards are also illegal in Hawaii because it blocks our view. Mahalo.
Thanks, Gwyneth and Joshua. Next, representing the Midwest, starting with Illinois, Allison Shi.
Big round of applause.
Okay, hi, my name is Allison Shi. I'm from Illinois. And for this presentation, I'm really going to be focusing on Chicago, but it is important to note that the north of Illinois, where Chicago is in the south, are very, very different, okay? Like if you go south far enough, like you can hear southern accents, and they also wanted to secede a few years back, but like a way that like this contrast is shown is through music, because like from the north, you have Chief Keef and Kanye West, but from the south, you have Mason Ramsey. But whether you call it Chi-Town, Chirac, or the Windy City, you can't talk about Chicago without talking about the food. And this trifecta really completes the cuisine, which is you have your deep dish pizza, the Chicago style hot dog, which if you ask for ketchup, they will laugh and then not give it to you. And then the Italian beef, which you can get dipped and they will dip it in gravy. You can't talk about Chicago food without talking about Portillo's, and it's a Chicago-style restaurant. It's technically nationwide, but most of them are in the Midwest, but there are 3 in California, so if you want to go, you should go. One funny thing about Portillo's is that every single time you get your order, they have to rhyme your order number. So that's my friend Kathy, she works there, but for example, 147, enjoy your Portillo's heaven. This is a segment I call APUSH IRL, because this probably has no significance to you unless you have taken APUSH. So we have the Jane Addams Whole House, the Haymarket Square riots, the Great Migration, and the meatpacking industry that Upton Sinclair wrote The Jungle about. And we also dye our river green for St. Patrick's Day. Thank you.
Thanks, Allison. Next, representing Indiana is Bowen Shaw.
Thank you, sir. So before I start, I want to give a shout out to our director, Lindsay Lawver. I know I don't see any Hoosiers entrants here, but I know one of our kind directors from Indiana. That makes me feel very proud. So Indiana is more known as the Hoosier state, and it has a population of 6.8 million, and it's 19th state to join the union. When it joined the union, it was along with Illinois and the rest of the states and named as the Midwest. So perhaps if one thinks about Indiana, one of the most renowned events that occurred there annually is the Indianapolis 500. It's a race that typically occurs after the Memorial Day weekend, in which the race car drivers drive around the 2.5-mile track for 200 laps. So that makes it 500 mile. It's quite of a most famous kind of tradition in the United States for race car. In Indiana, we also have some pretty prestigious colleges. To the right, probably everybody knows it's the Notre Dame, University of Notre Dame, known for its prestigious, especially business school called Mendoza. And to the left, we have two rival schools, the Purdue University and the Indiana University. My English teacher is from Indiana University, and he says if we apply to Purdue, he will not write us recommendation letter because these two schools are big rivals. Oh, I think, okay, so just as Allison, I also have some English tips that happened in Indiana. To the left, we have Battle of Tippecanoe, which is a part of the War of 1812, in which to the left, you see American revolutionaries fighting against Native Americans / the British soldiers. And of course, the American soldiers led by William Garrison crushed the Native Americans. That kind of settled the tone of the American success. And to the right, we have a president that comes from Indiana, the only president that comes from Indiana, which is the 23rd president in 1888 to 1892, called Benjamin Harrison. He's known for kind of advocating for civil rights as well as funding a lot for the Navy. So if you want to excel and get a 5 on English, you probably should know these two things. And to sum up, I'm actually not a Hoosier myself. I come from Shanghai, China, but I spent my 3 years in high school in Indiana. And in there, I originally thought it was just nothing but just cornfields, but that's completely wrong. Indiana is a place with wonderful people, wonderful sceneries, and kind of also not a great weather because it's very cold in winter, kind of hot in the summer. But we're definitely more than cornfields. And this is me, my picture in front of the Capitol Hill when I was representing my state of Indiana for National History Day. So that makes me really proud. Yeah, as a Hoosier. Let's go Hoosiers.
Okay. Thanks, Bowen. Next, we're moving from the Midwest to the Pacific Northwest, and the state of Washington will be represented by Ritvik and Puri. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Ritvik Bansal.
My name is Puri Kamaka.
And the rest of our team members are not here. Yeah, so this background picture is Reflection Lake. It's a very popular tourist attraction where you see Mount Rainier, and in the lake you see like a perfect reflection of it. So yeah, that's pretty cool.
Next, we're going to be talking about our schools. I go to Lincoln High School on the far left picture.
I'm in the middle. I go to North Creek High School, and the two other girls that were part of our presentation go to Eastside Preparation School.
Now we're going to talk about quick facts. Did you know that King County is the most populated county known as Seattle? The state population is 7.786 million since 2022. The capital is Olympia.
And yeah. So we have a lot of popular tourist attractions. Like one is like the Amazon domes that you see up there. They're pretty cool to look at. You also have the Boeing factory, Microsoft, and the first Starbucks.
Next, we have famous national places, such as the far left is the Washington State Ferry, which takes you to like the San Juan Islands on the far right picture. And then the bottom left, we got my right here from the plain view. And then
We also have Mount St. Helens before and after the eruption, so that's a pretty significant historical event.
lastly, we have like famous tour places. For example, we have Pike Place Market on the far left, which is also known for fish throwing. And then on the top right, we have UW during the cherry blossom season.
We also have a Deception Pass, which is a bridge that was built during the New Deals project. We also have Leavenworth, which is a popular attraction if you want to go skiing or just have some family time. And yeah, that's Washington.
The South. Let's get on down here.
Thanks, Puri and Ritvik. All right, next we're going to North Carolina. South. And that'll be represented by Sean Pruitt, Toby Chin, and Willie Park. Willie's not here. Okay, so Sean and Toby.
Howdy, we're the South. I'm Sean Pruitt. I'm in Lit 07.
Hi, my name is Toby Quinn, and I'm in Econ 01. Okay, so I'm gonna start off with some basic geography. Wait. Okay, so North Carolina is in the southeastern US, as you can see. It's bordered by Tennessee to the left, Virginia to the top, and then to the bottom we have South Carolina and Georgia. North Carolina is made up of 3 parts. There's on the left side the mountains, which has a lot of beautiful attractions like Sean will talk about later. In the middle is the Piedmont, which is where both me and Sean are from. I'm from the middle area, and Sean's from the southern area, near South Carolina. And also we have on the right side the coastal plains, which is where things like the Outer Banks are. Next, we're going to talk about colleges. North Carolina is home to a lot of great colleges. You might have heard some of them. For example, Duke University, UNC, Wake Forest, and NC State. Not only are these colleges really pretty prestigious, they also have great sports programs. If you're a basketball fan and you watch March Madness, you might have seen Duke, NC State, and UNC in there, and really the ACC in general.
North Carolina is also known for many foods and brands. For example, we have Mount Olive Pickles, Cheerwine, the best soda ever. Texas Pete, coincidentally not from Texas. Krispy Kreme donuts, Cookout, and pimento cheese. And here's a picture of Hank Schrader eating pimento cheese, if you've watched Breaking Bad. We also have some beautiful places here in North Carolina. We have the Outer Banks. Yes, the show takes place in North Carolina. We have the Great Smoky Mountains and Blue Ridge. Here's some nice views, beautiful places. And that's all we have. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks very much. Next, representing Oklahoma is Azriela Fitzgerald.
Hi, my name is Azriela Fitzgerald. I'm representing Oklahoma today. So Oklahoma is known as the Sooner State, and that is established because when Oklahoma was doing the land runs, people that went there early were called Sooners, and the ones who went when the guns went off were called Boomers. So some cool facts about Oklahoma is that the state vegetable is a watermelon. Yeah. We have some famous people like Carrie Underwood, Garth Brooks, and Dr. Phil that came from Oklahoma. The state tree is a redbud tree. The state bird is a scissortail. And the 3 major colleges in Oklahoma are OSU, go Pokes, OU, UCO, and then the state capital is Oklahoma City. For Oklahoma to become a state, it actually had to have those 3 colleges, one for science, one for teaching, and one for agriculture. So what is Oklahoma known for? Like, not a lot of people know about Oklahoma, but it is known for the Trail of Tears. The Trail of Tears was the plan to separate the 5 civilized tribes from the northern part of the US, and there are more than just 5 tribes there. There are currently 39 different Native American tribes, and as well as 25 different Native American languages. Something fun you can do when you go to Oklahoma is actually walk part of the Trail of Tears. It is labeled throughout the states where it took place, and also Route 66 is there. I forgot to put that there. So Damagahobi means until we meet again, which is Cherokee. My school used to have a Cherokee class where we learned to do basket weaving and things of that sort. Something that's very commonly done are powwows. There's are the powwow grounds to go to. And also to be able to compete in that, you're not allowed to cut your hair. So a lot of my classmates have really long hair so they can compete, because once you cut, you can't do that. And also in the top left-hand corner is the Cherokee alphabet. The Cherokee tribe is the biggest tribe in Oklahoma, and Sequoia, who's very famous, I live 5 minutes from his cabin, he developed the Sequoia alphabet. So, Dunabagahabi, thank you.
Thanks, Hesriela. I just wanted to say that there's a specific UCSC connection to the Cherokee language. One of our faculty, Professor Joseph Erb, is the first to develop a keyboard for the Cherokee language. And he's a faculty member here on campus. I'd love to introduce him to you, Hesriela. All right. Next, representing Tennessee is Penelope Brown.
All right. Hello, my name is Penelope Graham. I'm from Nashville, Tennessee, and I've lived there for almost my entire life. So Tennessee is divided into 3 grand divisions, and they're all 3 culturally and geographically distinct. So East Tennessee is mostly mountains, and it has Great Smoky Mountains National Park in it, which is the most visited national park. And Middle Tennessee is the foothills of the Smoky Mountains. And then West Tennessee is mostly the floodplains of the Mississippi River. And so it's a lot of like farmland and stuff like that. And each region also has its own, like a big city representing it. Yeah, and on the flag of Tennessee, these 3 regions are represented by stars, and the circle symbolizing that, you know, they're all in the same state. So some famous landmarks in Tennessee include the Bass Pro Shop Pyramid in Memphis, which is one of the largest pyramids in the world. This concrete Parthenon replica that's in Nashville that is pretty funny because, you know, it's just made out of concrete in there. But yeah, it's an art museum and it's pretty cool, and the park it's in is pretty cool. The Ryman Auditorium, which is a historic music venue in Nashville as well, and is pretty significant in the history of country music. And speaking of country music, we have a lot of famous musicians who have been born in Tennessee or have come there for work. So Dolly Parton and Taylor Swift are both from Tennessee and have, you know, played very significant roles in the music industry, and especially in country music. Yeah, there's a couple notable colleges in Tennessee, University of Tennessee, Knoxville, and Vanderbilt, which is in Nashville, and then Belmont, which is also in Nashville, is pretty significant for the music industry. And yeah, a fun historical fact about Tennessee is that it was the deciding vote on the 19th Amendment. So without Tennessee, women wouldn't have gotten the right to vote when they did. So yeah, thank you all for listening.
Thanks, Penelope. There's a part of the early universe that's known as the Taylor Swift era of the universe. Actually, I call it that. No one else does. It's because hydrogen atoms wouldn't form stably. Electrons and protons would combine, but they would break up all the time. So anyway, moving on to Texas. Catherine Lane is going to talk about Texas.
Howdy, y'all. I'm Catherine Lynn from Houston, Texas, and I'm a rising sophomore attending Virgin High School. So when people first hear about Texas, the first thing that pops into their mind may be cowboy boots, hats, country music, trucks, and football. Well, you'll be half right, but I'm here to tell you about facts that only a Texan will know. Let's get the boring things out of the way first. So, you might not believe, but Texas was once owned by 3 different countries: France, Spain, and Mexico. Texas got its independence after a long war known as the Mexican-American War and joined as the 28th state into the US. Now, let's figure out where Texas is in the United States. So Texas is in the south of the US, And it borders Mexico with the fourth longest river, Rio Grande. Need a break from geography? We got interesting facts. So, first, let's stop by Buc-ee's, Texas, all-time favorite gas station, that has a hallway that is decked with artwork. It might be the only one in the whole entire world that can give you this unique experience. After getting gas, we Texians stopped by at What's a Burger, known for its fresh ingredients and nice service. For those of you that don't know what a Whataburger is, I say Whataburger. It is just like the Texas version of In-N-Out, but Texas size. Houston, does that city sound familiar? That is where NASA Johnson Space Center is located. Houston also comes with a beautiful campus called Bryce. And Texas has been growing in population as many companies are moving over, like Tesla. I mean, who can resist the low gas prices, extra large burgers, beautiful scenery, and a nice Southern accent? Thank you very much, Catherine. Don't be ashamed when you get the next Texas next time.
All right, to close out the global showcase representing Arizona are Avery Shalom Valencia and Ryan Miranda Valle.
So today we're representing the state of Arizona. I'm Ryan Miranda Valle, representing Maryville High School.
And I'm Avery Shalom Valencia, representing Puebla High School. So the first topic I'll be presenting today is Tucson's Bosco Yaqui tribe, and that's the indigenous tribe that I belong to. Currently, there are 22 federally recognized tribes in Arizona, and the Bosco Yaqui tribe was officially recognized on September 18th, which we identify as Tribal Recognition Day, and we basically celebrate that annually through food, dancing, and prayer. Another important aspect of our culture is our religious synchronicity, which is a blend of both Catholicism and traditional Yaqui beliefs. And that basically stems from the migration of Jesuit missionaries in the 1600s into Yaqui communities. A fun fact is that we actually voluntarily welcomed these Jesuit missionaries, while a lot of other native tribes actually had Catholicism and Christianity forced on them. The way that we depict our religion is through a reenactment of the Passions of the Christ, or the murder and resurrection of Jesus, and this takes place throughout the 40 days of Lent, beginning on Ash Wednesday and ending on Easter with a grand celebration. Next, we have Arizona's weather. So the average temperatures during the summer range from about 105 to 115 degrees Fahrenheit.
With a record high temperature of 128 degrees Fahrenheit in the summer of 1994 in Lake Havasu City. And shown in the photo is below is Flagstaff, Arizona, in northern Arizona, which is one of the top snowing cities in the United States, with over average snowfall of 100 inches per year. And on the other side of the screen, there's a image representing the max temperature in Arizona in 2021. And on the next slide, we'll be talking about Arizona nature. With forests cover 27% of the state of Arizona, with over 22 national parks and monuments in the state, and it's the only place in the world where saguaro cactuses could grow. And a fun fact is that Arizona does not observe daylight savings times.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ryan. And Avery, Ryan has to be the most well-behaved young man I've ever come across. Most amazing. Look, this closes out the second of what I hope will be an annual SIP Global Showcase. Now, for those of you here, what we're going to do is the RAs are going to lead us to the community picnic. We're going to go out this way. We're going to go to the upper quarry. But before we do that, those of you who are here, let's make the people on Zoom believe that there are 500 people in this room. So let's thank all the speakers, those who are here, those who aren't here right now. Let's thank all the speakers one last time for their wonderful presentations. Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
Let's get some food now. And your merch.
That's a wrap. That's what's in your lunchbox. That's a wrap. What do I turn this on? End this Zoom call.
We
End the
can
recording.
let it go, let it go. Say thank you to everyone that joined us on Zoom. Appreciate it. Good to see y'all. Thank you, Jay, Jonas, Jay. Thank you. Raja, do you want to go with him? I'll close this side. Just walk with the group. Can I help? Quick, it's very quick. Hey guys, okay. Yeah. Ask.
Hi, Dad.
Hi, Dad. Wait,
Hi,
Al.
Dad. My dad isn't on it.
You would have to come closer to here for audio.
Hi, Dad.
There's other people on there.
That's true. That's okay.
Look, you're up there.
Anand, can you take my senior portraits with that camera?
Yeah, Raja actually takes really good photos. When you want to let him know what time to get dressed up, he'll take your photos.
Let me know.
Yeah.
We should, I've taken a bunch already of our team. Are you taking people?
Yeah, I'm gonna clean up, walk with Raja. So I'll see you there.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, I'll see you there. Thank you, sir. Yeah. All right.
Great to meet you in
person,
Asley.
How are you doing? Mine is real cheap.
Is yours at 500?
Mine is 0.
Okay, very cool. E and V.
What do you mean?
No,
Like a
honestly,
pink background?
Absolutely. You tell me, I mean, we'll find a pink background somewhere. It'll be out of focus. The pink background will be out of focus. You'll be in focus. I'll show you what I've done so
Yeah,
far.
the in Santa Cruz, right? The local one. Yes. Okay, very good. Okay.
Have a great day.
Yeah.
She said it's.
Thank you, guys.
Hey, see you, Ashley.
Very good.
Hey, Momita, how are you?
Cool. Please. Yeah, go to the community picnic.
Our team.
Get your merch. Your merch is there.
This is mine. I took this. Someone else took this. Lily already had that. I took this one someone else took. I took this one, which Jamaica provided.
Yeah.
So this one are mine. This one's mine, and this someone else took with the same camera.
Yeah.
If you want to look into the camera, you can, or no, Lindsay and I away from the camera, that's fine too. But what I mean is,
Also, is this your jacket?
no, what I mean is, see, the background is out of focus. Background's out of focus, the person's in focus. Same thing for, you can't tell here, but you can tell for Anand's picture.
You guys should all head over there.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
have
we'll
limited
head over
time.
there.
Yeah. Roger, you want to go with them?
I'll go with you.
Okay, cool. I'll clean up here. Yeah, very good.